Welcome to the Four Listeners Program. Welcome aboard, everybody. Thanks for checking us out this week. What up, everybody? I'm Spear, and on the mics with me this week is the Z-Man. What is up, Z?
Run, 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 jump. I could be a backpack while you run. Climb up that hairy vine. I could be a backpack while you climb.
Love that song. Love that song.
That is a great song.
Was it? It's Seagulls, right?
Bad lip syncing Seagulls something.
Bad lip reading. It's Seagulls. It's Yoda. It's Yoda from Empire Strikes Back. Somebody did a bad lip reading of what goes on on Dagobah with Luke. Go check that out because it's one of the funniest goddamn things I've ever seen. On the other mic is the mighty Gantor. What is up, Gantor?
What's up?
What's up? You're all kind of like...
I feel like I got something going on.
What do you got going on? Is everybody sick?
My throat. Yeah, I've been on and off sick.
I ate some questionable hot dogs last night.
What the hell?
What? What was questionable about them?
So I saw them. They were in my refrigerator for a while, and I think they were in the freezer before that. And so I looked at them, and I was like, oh, what's the expiration date on them? It said September 07. And so I'm like, there's no way this is September 07. And so I opened them up, and I smelled them. They smelled fine. And then I was like, fuck it, I'm just going to eat them. And I ate them. And now my stomach does not like me.
You ate 10-year-old hot dogs?
They're hot dogs. How big
Oh,
can they
my
be?
God. All right. Okay. All right. Well, thankfully, we have somebody helping us out for the two of you guys who seem to be falling apart. Please welcome back to the show, Kath. What's up, Kath?
Hello.
I love her hello.
Wait, is this dirty talk, Kath?
This is put your bits in my bits, Kath.
Yeah.
No.
Yes.
Kath,
No,
you're
you
one of
don't.
our first. You're one of our first guests.
I know. I'm still thrilled about it.
That was like 6 years ago.
Don't patronize us.
Gantor hasn't changed at all in 6 years.
It just sounded like that. I wasn't really.
What kind of accent is this? Where in England are you from?
I'm from Wales.
Oh, so did I just insult you?
No, because I do have an English accent, but I am from Wales, but my parents are both English, so I sound English.
Well, what kind of English accent do you have then?
Well, it's very generic English accent. It's not really localized.
I'm very disappointed.
Oh, why?
So I was expecting you to say something like it's Liverpudlian.
Gloucestershire or something.
Yeah, but you're like, oh, it's generic English accent.
Yeah, sorry.
Boy,
we're really off to a great start. Thank you, Gantor. All right. So anyway.
Shall I just go now?
Yeah, that's right. The show's over. Thanks for listening. This week, something must be done about running. I don't understand running. I don't run unless I'm being chased. And it's rare that I'm ever being chased by anything. And it would have to be something large that would have to be chasing me, like a bear or like a lion or like a big dog. You know, like something that could potentially hurt me. That's the only reason I'm running.
What about bees?
I'm not going to run from bees. I'm going to swat at the bees. I'm a human being. I'm at the top of the goddamn food chain.
I would run from bees.
I'm not running from bees. I'm not running from anything. So why?
But it's so much fun.
Here we go. There's nothing fun about it. There's absolutely nothing fun about it.
Well, that's true at times.
All right. So you are just to set the scene here. You are a professional runner. Is that a semi-pro? Is that am I
No.
categorizing this right?
No, I have frequently raced as an elite marathon runner. I think that's about as high an accolade as I can give myself.
All right. So you've run marathons competitively.
Yes.
In races.
And she places in the top positions usually.
Yeah.
So you
Sometimes.
are a competitive
Depending.
marathoner, a competitive marathoner.
Yes.
And a marathon is it's 26 plus miles. Is that correct?
26.2.
Okay. So what possesses your mind and your body to want to run for 26.2 miles over how many hours? It's like 2-3 hours that you're running.
Yeah. So, well, preferably less than 3. Somewhere between 2.5 and 3.
Right. So for 2.5 to 3 hours, you are running. You're like Forrest fucking Gump. You are running, and I don't understand it. Why would you do that? Why would you punish your body, your knees, your joints, your back, your hips, Your lungs are burning. I mean, pretty much every part of your body is getting punished for 2.5 to 3 hours. Why on God's green earth would you do this?
Well, okay, to start with, when you're really fit and you're actually racing, so when you've trained and you're in that moment of racing, it really doesn't hurt for about 2 hours. So 2 hours are just sublime because you're so fit. So you're capable of running 26 miles and you're not just, I mean, this sort of pacing is, you're not just plodding, you're asking for a decent clip out of your body. So you're fit for 26 miles, which means you get to run 18, like, fairly happily. So that is a fantastic feeling. It really only gets hard, in the last sort of 6 miles when you're really fit. And yeah, and then it's just about pushing yourself. It's about pushing your body, and really it became. Cara Goucher was quoted once as saying, racing isn't about the person really, towards the end that is the strongest or the fastest. It's the person that can concentrate for the longest. And she's really got a solid point, because it gets to a point where you just it's about focus and concentration and bringing into just literally just stepping forward everything that you have. And there's just a sort of, I don't know, a magic in the simplicity of it.
Magic in the simplicity of it. So once you've gotten to that point, once you've gotten to the point where your body is now aching, right? You've gone past sublime. It's no longer sublime. You are now at the point of pain. And now you are left with nothing but the pain and your thoughts.
You're talking about that feeling you get like after you run one block, right? that like, oh my God, I'm going to die if I don't think about my breathing right now, because I'm going to die.
Well, that's what happens to me. So what happens?
That wall comes early in our race.
Yeah, right. My race ends. My race ends by the time I get to my car. That's where it ends. What's going on in your head? How are you dealing with the pain? How are you dealing with the anguish? There must be a fair amount of anxiety that hits you at some point too, unless you're prepared for it.
Huge.
So then what?
So I always say there's these 2 points where I have a real mental wobble in a race, in a race. So at a marathon distance, somewhere around 6 or 7 miles, because it's early in the race, you're fit, you're happy, you're out there, and I'll sometimes get this thought at around 6 or 7 miles. You've got 20 miles left to go. And I sometimes think, ooh, I don't know if I can be bothered to do this.
Yes.
I don't know if I feel like it.
I would wonder if that thought didn't go through your head.
Well, because everything's feeling really comfortable at that point, right? So you're sort of kind of cruising along and you just think, oh, I might be a bit hungry, or I'd like a cup of tea or something. I don't know. And so then you have to really talk to yourself and go, no, come on, get back in it, whatever. And then there's something around about the sort of 14 to 16 mile mark where, again, you're okay. You're not comfortable anymore. Like, this is not easy anymore. You are starting to do sort of like what I call the systems check, where I sort of start to think around my body and think, right, yep, are you okay? Are you okay? Is everything all right? And I get to that point where I realize I've got 10 more miles of this to go, and it's started to, I'm feeling like I need a shot block. So that bit can be really quite tricky as well, because there's still 10 miles to go. But then after that, it really just becomes an effort of concentration, like I said, and focus. And don't forget, so part of the training process is training your brain. It's not just training your body to be able to do it. So you train your brain to deal with the race.
How do you train for when you go doo-doo in your pants?
Because
that happens to a lot of distance runners, right?
It does.
Do you practice
that? It really
that?
does. Well, you don't really do it while you're running, or you really try hard not to do that.
You don't purposefully crap in your pants just to prepare for it.
Well, what I'm saying is it happens. It's very common. And so how do you deal with it? Do you just pretend it doesn't happen or hope it doesn't happen? Or do you try and, go through with it so you know how to deal in a race?
Well, you've got to stop.
Runner.
You don't do it. Well, you don't really do it
while
you're running.
You're doing a doo-doo?
Yeah, you have to. So very often marathon courses and so on will have like toilets, portaloos along them. So you dive into those, or you dive into a bush or that kind of thing. So winter training is really handy for that because, it's dark, so you can just nip into a bush. Sorry.
It's weird. I'm not used to somebody standing up to me.
Yeah.
Oh.
I asked if you like diving into bush.
I don't like it, no. Yeah, I've had to do it a lot.
What's the fastest you've ever pooped? Is it like a pit stop where you got like a crew and you got like someone there wiping for you?
I've never had it, thank goodness. I have never had it happen to me in a marathon race. It happens very regularly on training runs, on fast efforts.
I want to go back to the doo-doo thing because I know a runner. I don't think she's done a marathon, but she's done a half marathon and 10Ks and whatnot. And she talks about how she had diarrheas and she didn't stop. She just kept going.
Gosh, she's hardcore. But if the race is really...
Yeah, but she's not hardcore, so...
Oh.
I think she just looked at crap in herself.
Well, that's what I'm trying to figure out. Like, is Kath a fraud? Like those Boston Marathon cheaters? Or is my friend a fraud? Or does she just like getting covered in her own doo-doo?
I think your friend's a fraud. Kath's legit.
I think maybe your friend takes her running a bit too seriously if she's prepared to shit herself because, that's...
Well, she didn't do it on purpose, but she didn't stop and go into a porta potty. She said people just keep running all the time and it just comes down their legs and stuff.
Oh, no.
What?
Yeah,
see, I don't know. I'm starting to get doubts here.
Unless you're elite, I don't see the reason. I mean, if your friend's just doing 10Ks and half marathons, she's not trying to like get a best time. Yeah. She's not going to win money, so she should stop and poop in the toilet.
Yeah.
So how did you get started with the idea of running? Because let's face it, as human beings in the 21st century, we don't have to run. We don't have to run to get any place. We barely have to walk to get any place. I was watching Back to the Future 3 today. And Doc Brown is standing in the bar, and he's talking about the future.
We have motorized carriages called automobiles.
If everybody's got one of these does anybody walk or run anymore?
Of course we run, but for recreation, for fun.
Run for fun? What the hell kind of fun is that?
I mean, that's kind of like, I was watching a movie and I'm like, that's kind of where I'm at with this. Like, how did you get into because we don't have to run. How did you get in the idea of running for fun and then to get competitive with it? How did you start?
For me, some people like to cook. Some people have a sense of accomplishment when they've made their bed in the morning. Some people really enjoy, just watching the TV. For me, I enjoy running. I have a sense of accomplishment for the day. If I've achieved nothing else that day, if I've been for my run, I feel content.
So it truly is for the love of running. There's no science behind it. There's no I need to understand what's going on with my body, so I'm doing this for science. This is truly for the love of running. Yep.
Because racing aside, there's a huge amount to just running, just having a physical, a self-sufficient feeling within your own body that you are able to get yourself to a place. And I think it gives you an increased sense of confidence in your body, and it feels great.
Talk to us about the runner's high. Have you ever experienced it?
Yes.
Is it like euphoric? Is it just like you don't feel anything in your body? Like what do we got here?
It's not this high drug type feeling that people way over dramatize it.
Is it more like a Four Loko buzz?
No.
Where you don't feel anything and you just throw yourself at the ground or something?
No.
Different kind of feeling, man.
All right.
Yeah.
What drug would you relate it to?
Oh, I don't know any drugs that I can relate it to.
Boo.
I know.
Come on.
Kath drinks wine and cider and Four Loko. That's about it.
That's it.
I don't even do Four Loko. That's pretty hardcore. Anyway, so what does it feel like? Like what is it? Just like super focus? Athletes sometimes call it being in the zone. Is it that kind of thing?
Yeah, so well, those are different things, in my opinion. Like the sort of the runner's high and the being in the zone. Being in the zone is when you really do have that incredible concentration capacity, and nothing can shake you from, and you manage to channel everything into motion output. The runner's high feeling, you can get that from a 5-mile run on your plain old running route that you do all the time, and you just go out one day and you're fit and it's a great day and your legs feel good, and it just flows. Your body just has a rhythm and a flow that just feels lovely. And it's almost like your legs can feel sort of mentholated, is how I would describe it.
Mentholated.
Yeah.
Like someone put some Ben Gay on your legs and it's all minty. You got some sports cream on there.
It's cool yet burning at the same time.
Yeah, it's like this sort of mentholated feeling on the inside of your legs, and you just feel accomplished, like you could do anything.
I think they have creams they'll clear that right up.
No, I think they have cream so that you can get that feeling. I don't want to clear it up. I think they have creams that you can put on specifically to achieve that.
Sounds kind of like she orgasms while running.
Is it like that? Is it like getting bits in you?
Well, there was a long-standing joke for quite some time amongst our friends that going for a long run was a euphemism for some antics.
Rubbing one out?
I don't know what that means.
Masturbation? I'm gonna go to my room and go for a long run.
I mean, it wasn't true, but people would suggest that.
I absolutely love how proper she is about this. It's almost as if like we shouldn't be talking about these kinds of things. It's like, well, no, I wouldn't quite. No, I don't know exactly how to put it. That's. I like that you're putting up. You're classing up the whole joint here, is what you're doing right now, Kath. And I, for one, appreciate it. If not these two chuckleheads over here.
So when is your next marathon?
I am going to run Boston this year.
Woohoo!
I have not run Boston for 3 years. That's not my plan.
Do people do that? Do people try to cheat on these things to cut corners?
Yeah, man. Dude, they get sponsorships and deals and all sorts of stuff.
Well, I mean, people cheat by taking drugs when they've got sponsorships and deals.
I mean, just to win or to place highly.
I mean, so myself included, and many of my friends I know have been beaten to the point that we've lost money because we've placed lower down, and people have been disqualified at a later date because they are on drugs. But you never get the prize money in when that happens. When they're disqualified, that's fine, but you don't, like, you get moved up to 4th or 5th place. They don't go, and have some prize money. That's one of the really annoying things about drug cheats, is that you never, in theory, you were racing against somebody it was completely unfair. So you might finish 6th, but actually you were 4th, but you'll never get the glory, if you like, or whatever you want to call it, of actually finishing 4th in that race. They really steal from their fellow competitors.
Shitheads.
Sad. Yeah.
What would you do if you caught a cheater on the course?
I don't know, just give him a bit of a stern talking to.
Oh my God.
So pathetic. I don't know, I would just ignore them. I don't know the time of day for people like that.
So you would ignore them? You'd let them place ahead of you and take money for you?
Oh, if they were like trying to cheat in front of me? Oh,
that's what I'm saying. You saw them cheat. You saw them get off a bus and start running faster than you.
Oh my word! Yeah, I would feel extremely motivated to catch them. That's for sure.
So that's what you would just try to beat them. You wouldn't.
Yeah, but I mean, I'd report them after the race.
Now, here's what you do: you call us, because we're going to be like mobilized. We're going to be in like, what do you think, Ganthor? We'd be in cars? I mean, we'd have drones. We'd have drones so that we could find these people. We could hunt them down. We'd put like dart guns on the drones so we could take them out, like tranq guns. What do you think? No?
I'm not interested.
You're not interested in taking down cheaters?
No.
No?
Just take pictures and video of them.
Where's the fun in that? I'm talking about weaponized drones. What the fuck? You guys want to take pictures? I'm fucking chasing people down with these drones. I want to get that robot that Boston Dynamics just had on those 2 wheels, the one that could jump 4 feet in the air.
Parkour.
Yeah, that thing's fucking crazy. I want to get that shit and start chasing people down on the fucking marathon trail.
No, I want that rope with the balls on the end that you swing around and then it wraps up their feet.
Bolo?
The bolo, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
you guys can go do that, and I'll just not care.
Okay, well, where's the fun in that? I'm going to care about something for the first time in my life, Ganthor, and you're not with me on this one? Come on, man.
I told you how I feel about our relationship earlier today.
Oh, you see, Ganthor's sending me romantic music quotes from. He's sending me shit from like "You Lost That Love and Feeling." What did you send me? I don't close my eyes.
That's the first line.
Yeah, I don't close my eyes when you kiss your lips or whatever the fuck.
You don't close your eyes when I kiss your lips.
And then what was the other thing you told me, that I was so cold or something along those lines?
You're cold as ice, dude.
I'm cold
like, you don't talk to me anymore.
Yeah, that's really what it is.
And then you didn't literally after I got done bearing my soul to you.
Well, honestly, Ganthor, I don't know how to respond to that. I mean, we probably should just talk more. I don't know. Sometimes you say things that are hurtful to me, and I don't know how to respond.
Dude, Spirit was just busy playing Zelda.
That's really what it was.
He's like, stop talking. I got fucking rupees to go find and shit to break and shrines to uncover.
That's right. That's exactly right. So what would you say to somebody who wanted to get into running? Aside from the make sure you plan the time to run, what else would you tell a runner? What else would you tell a walker who is about to get into running, who's about to kick it into a different gear and get into running? What would you tell them?
I tell them to not try to diet at the same time. Whatever you do, if you're going to start running, just don't worry about what you eat to start with. Worry about that a bit later. So don't try doing 2 things at once. I don't know if either of you play golf, but they tell you don't concentrate on more than 2 things about your golf swing at any one time.
Yeah, that's really hard.
You can't do it. So you have to just try to focus on that one thing. The other thing is that people go, right, I'm going to run 3 miles and they'll all be great. And then they do sort of 3/4 of a mile or half a mile and they're just dog tired and their lungs are burning and they just can't do it anymore. And the key is to not do that. You've got to plan to walk run to start with, because if you're literally going from a fitness of 0, then you cannot just go out your door and run. You have to build capillaries. You have to grow blood. You literally have to grow blood vessels and muscle. So you need to have a walk run. So you run a bit, you walk a bit, run a bit, walk a bit. And I've written training plans for people for, couch to 5Ks, and they have done fantastically, because they've started out for it's a good 2 weeks where you're still incorporating some walking into your run.
Well, you don't have to write a plan for me. I'm not planning on going anywhere fast. So I have lots of Legend of Zelda left to play before I can get up off my chair. So I'm good for a while.
But it's so much fun. I have so many great. So the best and worst runs are not as good as, what people have you met and what stories. Random things have you come across running?
That's kind of how I met Kath, is because of a running group.
Yes.
I wasn't running. I was just drinking with the running group.
Well, right.
But she was running.
Yeah.
You've clearly never played The Legend of Zelda, because I'm running all over the place in The Legend of Zelda, running into random things and then killing them and then taking their treasure and their loot and stuff. So I'm just exercising a different way.
I feel like I've met some pretty odd characters running, in terms of they could well be in computer games. They're so off the wall that I would never have met otherwise.
Well, look, I already have enough crazy friends. I don't need to run to meet new crazy people. So I'm probably okay. I have these 2 chuckleheads. I can't deal with any more crazy people. I'm already filled up. Thank you very much. What did we learn about running, Z-Man?
I learned that this probably is our most informative episode.
Yes, it was very informative.
There was actually some actual useful knowledge in here.
Yeah, well, I'll make sure I cut all of that out, because we can't have any.
Yeah,
Can't
don't
have
want to
any-
get people like expectations up or
No,
something.
no, can't have any useful stuff on this program.
Yeah, take all that
No,
out,
It's all
yeah.
got to go. Ganthor, what'd you learn
That Kath's a liar
about the poo thing?
about everything.
Well, do you think she's got all this stuff made up?
Look at her answers. She has a generic English accent from nowhere in particular. She's never seen somebody poo while running. It's just the evidence. It just adds up.
It speaks for itself. The defense rests. Yeah. Yep. Okay. Kath, what did you learn? What did you learn about running?
I learned that it seems strange not to have seen someone poo whilst running.
Whilst running.
I've had many conversations with my friends who have managed to stop at the time that they're pooing. I've actually conversed with my friends while they're pooing, in a bush somewhere, and I'm going, okay, there's no one coming. You're going to be fine, So I think that's.
Did you lock eyes with them?
No,
you become very close with someone when you lock eyes with them while they're pooping.
I'll take your word for that.
I learned that running is not for me. It's still not for me. Won't ever be for me.
Oh.
It's just not. I have all the respect in the world for anybody who can figure out a way to push themselves through 26.2 miles of torture. I can't get 26.2 feet. So I'm perfectly happy to watch from afar in admiration. Enjoy yourselves. So if you like to run and you're not being chased, why don't you go ahead and let us know on the Facebook page, facebook.com/4listeners or 4listeners.com, or you can tweet at us on the Twitters @4listeners, and you can check out the show on Stitcher Radio, on Google Play, or on the iTunes. Just search for 4Listeners and we'll pop right on up. Thank you, Kath. Once again, you have been a lovely, lovely guest.
My pleasure.
And we thank all of you for checking us out this week, and we hope that you will check us out again next week. Thanks a bunch, everybody.
Run, jump, now breathe. That's good. Like that. Like that.
You can get that kind of a connection with a person from just going on a pretty decent long run with them,
And
which is
sure.
it's quite beautiful, really, isn't it? When you think that in the space of an hour and a half, you can connect with a human in a much more accelerated way than you could in many other settings.
I'm sure if you code brown with them, it's a great bonding experience as well.
oh my God.
If you could what?
If you code brown with them.
Oh yeah. Well, you
Like if
talk
you-
about that immediately. I mean, think about that as well. Who on earth else, apart from you guys, can you immediately start talking about pooing with? And it's fine.